You tune in to Floridian Rollo. I'm your host, Floridian Rollo. Good day to everybody once again. Good morning, Grand Rising. Make sure you hit the like button on your way in. We're going to talk about the situation, an update on the situation with the Demarasi that decided to take matter into his own hands at the New York NFL important building. So without further ado, we're going to hear what the NYPD detail has to say. Then we're going to go into the continuation of Don't Move in a Woman's Place. All right? We're going to get to the finale of that. So let me get this ready. Let me get the video ready for y'all. All right, let me get it set up so you can see what's going on. All right. Here we go.
Well, the investigation into Monday's Midtown shooting is now widening. Police identified the suspect as 27-year-old Shane Tamura, who police say drove all the way across the country from Nevada to carry out the mass shooting. Investigators are now working to trace Tamura's movements from Las Vegas to New York City.
Joining us this morning with the very...
So that means that all the county lines, all the states, all the towns he went through, everybody's investigating. From the time he left Vegas to the time he came to do this wild, demonic stuff in New York City. All right, let's get to it.
Latest on the suspect and the investigation, NYPD Chief of Department John Schell. Nice to have you here.
He already doing it again. He's doing the sign. He's doing the sign. All right, let's continue.
Chief, and Kaz Daughtry, Deputy Mayor for Public Safety. Always great to see you, too.
Good morning.
Both of you were inside that office building moments after it happened. You've told me, or told us off camera, how horrific it was. And you've been to crime scenes before. Why did this touch you so much?
I've been doing this 32 years, and I'm just going to walk you through just getting there on that scene and realizing that you had casualties in the lobby, you had an active shooter going on, you had a car parked in front, you had people calling. Midtown Manhattan, this is not a normal event. And we lost 4 great New Yorkers in that lobby. One of Officer Islam, best New York's got to offer, a mother of 2, an executive, a security guard unarmed that did everything he could.
A security guard what? He was a security guard doing what? Let's say that again.
4 great New Yorkers in that lobby. One of Officer Islam, best New York's got to offer, a mother of 2, an executive, a security guard unarmed that did everything.
A security guard unarmed. He's an officer. Yet at that Pacific building, he was unarmed? Really? Did you hear what the detective said? He said that the man that got unalived by this criminal had no weapon. What's going on? I thought these people supposed to have weapons. When I used to work for Wall Street, Goldman Sachs, there was certain security detail that was basically had weapons. He didn't have a weapon in this important building? Detective, you know what you're saying, right? No weapon? So the other security officer that gives clearance to the elevator has no weapon? This is not looking good. This is not looking good. Let's rewind it again. Let me put this music off. Let me put this music off so you can hear it clearly. Because I want to make sure we're hearing the same thing. Here we go.
Calling Midtown Manhattan, this is not a normal event. And we lost 4 great New Yorkers in that lobby. One of Officer Islam, best New York's got to offer, a mother of 2, an executive, a security guard unarmed that did everything he could.
A security guard unarmed. So he's an officer, yet in detail in an important building, he's unarmed. This is bad. This is bad, y'all. They're going to have to do something better than this.
The worker in Rudin, the poor maid that were getting shot at. It was just a horrible scene, it was moving fast. There was AR-15 rounds being fired all over the place. It was just a tragic event, and those people were going home that day and working, Officer Islam working to support his family, a religious man, a community.
No disrespect, this guy seemed out the loop. Not the detective that's talking, this guy right here. He seemed like he's not even there, y'all. Anyway, let's go.
Community man, two boys, a pregnant wife, the mom of two. We can go on and on. They didn't deserve this. This was pure evil, senseless, and it was a horrific set of circumstances.
Can we talk about some of the people who came face to face and survived that attack? I did not hear anything about the housekeeper who was on the 33rd floor. Can you kind of walk us through with that woman?
From like the chief said, watching after we left the dignified transfer for the officer, it was around a little after midnight, I want to say midnight 30. The mayor, myself, the chief of department, the police commissioner went to the actual crime scene to do a walkthrough. And when we walked through the crime scene, seeing the blood, seeing all the rifle rounds on the floor, and going up to the 33rd floor, 32nd floor, and then...
How you see rifles around the floor? Rifles around the floor. Hold on. Let me make sure I heard that correctly. Hold on. Let me rewind back.
The actual crime scene to do a walkthrough. And when we walked through the crime scene, seeing the blood, seeing all the rifle rounds on the floor, and... Oh,
rifle rounds. Okay. Just wanted to make sure that I ain't hear something else. Rifle rounds. Okay.
Going up to the 33rd floor, 32nd floor, and then into the security rooms, actually watched.
You're the first person that said the 32nd floor. So did he go to the 32nd floor? That's where he unalived himself?
The video, and like the chief said, just seeing the cleaner when she, by the grace of God, God was with a lot of folks in that building that day. God was with the female that got off the elevator, which they met face to face with the actual gunman. God was with the cleaner, who the chief just mentioned, where if she would have made a left, that would have ended her life, but she made a right.
Yeah, so what happened? Did she come face to face with him?
It was seconds. She made a right, and the gunman made a left, and as she's running down the hall, he eventually sees her. He fires some rounds at her, but she was able to escape unscathed, and then she went to go hide in an area.
No, yeah. She did. She's been there for years. The management company loves her. When she was running away, she took our garbage can with her. Think about that. I mean, like Kaz said, the guy made a right, she made a left, saved her life.
And that's up on the 33rd floor.
Because she knows the area. She knows the area. It's not the point of her being a cleaner. She knows the area. She's well rounded. And I think a lot of people take certain people for advantage, that consider advantage. The cleaners, the janitors, the people that do the work, they know the exit strategy than the people that's working there for the most part. And I think that New York needs to start doing that again, doing evacuation plans, just in case for situations like this, because not everybody was prepared. And then to make matters worse, the officer was not armed in that important building. Why is that? We need to know why he was not armed. Why the other security officer at the main lobby was not armed. Yeah, some security buildings may not want you to be armed. That's going to have to change, especially what happened, what transpired. Let's go.
Or where he eventually took his own life.
Right,
correct?
that elevated bank went right up the 33rd floor.
And these are horrific stories, and at the end of the day as well, this is a homicide investigation.
They're all horrific stories, from the officer to the victims, but to the Rudin company. They had safety measures in place. They trained for active shooter drills. They had panic rooms, and there's some people out there that's criticizing Rudin, but I can tell you from talking to him and talking to the staff, that nobody's talking about the panic room that saved a couple of the males that went into the actual bathroom.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing they have panic rooms. The thing is, does each floor have a panic room? Do they have safety measures? That's good that y'all have made the buildings more protected for people just in case for situations like this. Let's go.
And now the NYPD has to look into the suspect here. And my understanding is you guys have sent teams out to Las Vegas to discuss with his family. What actually happens now as a part of the investigation?
So we will look at his phones, his computers. We'll talk to his family. We have the timeline, what he was doing, why he was doing it. Is there anybody else involved? I'm not saying there is. They have to go to all this because it gives us information to how to prevent it the next time. What are we looking for? So the investigation's far from over, but they have a lot of work to do still.
Somebody inside got the memo. Was somebody inside is involved more likely because how did he know the building so well? He was so comfortable going there as if he knew what to do. You just can't go in anybody's building if you ain't been there a few times. You get what I'm saying? So this is not looking good.
There were several notes found, right?
It was three, I think three. Yeah.
So one on him, one at his home, and where was the third one?
No, there was three that was found on him. Notes, like that, that's how we're kind of making a connection.
Okay, a 3-page note.
Correct, and then I believe there was some notes found inside of his house.
Anything that caught your attention while looking over those notes?
I didn't see the notes inside of the house. I did see the notes that was found on him, which I'm sure you guys already have reported on it with the CTE and stuff like that. Yeah, but
So, according to that memoir, he had a conversation with somebody in the NFL.
That's all going to come out on the investigation.
So the NFL commission is going to have to speak on it, or a spokesperson for the NFL is going to speak on it. And when we get wind of this, I'll keep you posted. I want to see what the NFL has to say about this. And these other important people have to say. Because somebody in the inside allowed this to happen. And whoever that person that's still alive in critical condition is the component of what transpired in this event.
And no warning signs before now. I mean, he took a cross-country trip.
This is the lone wolf we speak about. This is a lone wolf traveling across the country with an AR-15 and another gun in his car, walking into a lobby and doing what he did. And even, again, back to the active shooter piece, I have chiefs in there, I have cops in there. Active shooter, there's no time to waste. You have to go take care of the threat. And speaking to them on the phone, they knew what they had to do. And they knew that if they confronted this man, what was going to happen. I mean, this is what it is. And you're negotiating all these other different variables you have to deal with. A 44-story building. Casualties, I said it. People calling, people running out. This is not a normal event. And it was a tough scene. It really was.
We know that he does have what has been described as a history of mental illness or issues, and he was still able to get this concealed carry permit, buy a weapon legally there. But this AR-15 is different. It sounds like there was another individual who may have helped with the assembly process or something along those lines.
Now, let's see how they respond to that. Because she looking like Rosanna, she like, you're not supposed to say that. We're not supposed to really say what the people is already trying to know. So let's see how they respond, because Rosanna's like, oh boy, here we go.
Is that someone else who you're looking at?
The co-worker and acquaintance that bought the lower part of the weapon, the receiver. Yes, the NYPD is looking at it along with our federal partners and our partners over there in Vegas. But three quick things. Number one, let's talk about the time this incident happened, from 6:28 with the first 911 call, from 6:32 to the actual police officers arriving on the scene, less than like 3 to 4 minutes, right? Yeah. Got the police commissioner, myself, the chief of the department. Officers did a great job. They were in that lobby. They were rendering aid. It is
I wonder what's going to be the legality of going in these buildings. If they're going to beef up things to whereas you can't bring certain stuff in the building. Is that what's going to happen in New York City based on this? Is that what this is going? Because every time something happens of a major event, there's some changes that's going to happen. Is they're going to cut off certain things? Is certain people not allowed to go in the building because of this situation? Because obviously there's going to be a change in these buildings, particularly in Manhattan. Make no mistake about it. I work for Wall Street, and when certain things happen on protocol, certain people was not allowed to come in the building, whether it be a family member, whether it be somebody of importance. They had no reason to linger around there. Is that what's going to happen in this building? Because you got the NFL, you got these important real estate groups, you got these international things going on in that building. So there's a lot of questions to why they don't have heavy presence security and why they're not armed in that building. Let's go.
The emergency service, the SRG and the CRC teams, they get there with their heavy weapons, they jump on a stack. Nobody's talking about the fire department, the firefighters, EMS, and paramedics that was on that stack with them in the event that they're going through the building methodically looking for more victims and actually for the gunmen. And the firefighters and EMS, if they found the victim, they would be rendering life-saving measures. And lastly, two more things. The mayor, we have a commander-in-chief that was on the scene with the police commissioner, getting updates, working together. This is a horrific incident. The mayor is, this is one thing he's great at, was bringing us all together. And a big thank you to the governor that's been a great partner in this. We were at the memorial yesterday with her, and I just left her a little while ago at the 4-7 precinct with the police commissioner and the mayor, and speaking to the troops, and you can just see in that precinct, you can see the faces of these young officers, and you can see the emotion and the trauma on their faces. And it reminds me of being in the hospital when the father was yelling out that it's his only son. He's expecting a baby that he's never going to meet again, and had to get rushed out of that room into the ER room because he was having chest pains.
His father.
It's very serious because this situation is telling everybody that now it's going to be some changes. It's going to have to be armed officers. Details going to have to be more on point. And you got to pay attention to everybody that's coming in and out the building. It's unfortunate because they allowed this to happen. Somebody in the inside allowed this to happen. I truly believe that. Because based on the fragment of the building, especially on Park Avenue, oh my goodness. So the person came with a suit. So the person knew how to blend in, and nobody paid detail to that. He had the gun inside his thing. By the time he took it out, and by the time the officer saw it, it's nothing he could do because he didn't have a weapon. So now it's starting to make sense. Because I know certain security buildings that the officer is allowed, or the security officer is allowed to be armed. You have to. You're dealing with important stuff. So I'm wondering if these folks is going to allow guards to be bulletproof, certain bulletproof armors on inside their shirt, or wear it out if they choose to, and have more people in these buildings, because this is not good for business. You can see in their faces, they kind of know what's going on. At the same time, this chief right here, he throwing that sign to the powers that be.
Is in the hospital still, or?
No, he's out. He's under the care of his brothers and sisters who will be with him forever, and along with the mother, who is his wife, is 8 months pregnant. Think about her and the baby, her unborn baby.
We would do anything to go back in time. You talk to any police officer, we would do anything to go back in time if we could put ourselves in that lobby, if we could put ourselves on 33, because we would have put ourselves in that line of fire, because that's what we do.
And there's a lot. Thank you to the men and women of the police department for getting there so quickly. There were some unsung heroes, people who worked with the NFL. I think one guy who got shot, who called. Can you tell us what he did?
So his first reaction after being shot, I mean, not a normal event, obviously, was to pick up his phone, and I saw it. And try to call his friends. So that was where his mindset was. I'm hurt, but my first reaction is to call my friends up there. That's a human side of things that people don't know and don't see. There's so many stories within the stories here that we want to talk about from a human level and from a police level. It's good.
Very difficult situation.
It's extremely difficult. You had the police officers in the lobby, you had security in the lobby, you had the security guard that after he got shot that he was trying to crawl to hit the button to recall the elevators so the elevators wouldn't go to the top floor. So there's a lot of things that have happened and that it will come out, but the mayor has tasked me a couple of, right after this incident, he says, "You did a great job with the drones, Kaz." He's like, "You have to find some sort of technology, some gun detection technology that we can use, that we can implement in the city, so we cannot have it."
They have that already. They have the gun detect. This is not something. Oh my goodness, this guy's lying right here. Let me rewind back. I'm gonna explain to you why he's lying because they have that already.
Top floor. So there's a lot of things that have happened and that it will come out, but the mayor has tasked me a couple of, right after this incident, he says, "You did a great job with the drones, Kaz." He's like, "You have to find some sort of technology, some gun detection technology that we can use, that we can implement in the city, so we cannot have."
They have that. They have that. This is not looking good because they have that. The officers have the technology in these buildings in Manhattan, whatever in the New York Triopolis. They have those things where they could see you have a weapon. So was the thing shut off? Was the camera of alert shut off? These are the questions you have to ask because now there's some clues that they're trying to, that people are not paying attention to. This is a clue here. Was the alert shut off? And if so, why? And there was not too many people around in that particular area. That's another red flag. Let's continue.
Have it like this again in the city.
Especially around that time of day. 6 o'clock in the evening? Come on now.
You've been on many, many horrendous situations. Why are you near tears today?
It's just tough.
I've never seen you like this. We've talked about some pretty horrendous situations and attacks in New York City.
It's a lot of work. I feel for the cops, and it's a lot.
You have to understand that, watching that video, and when you watch the video, when we left, we were just quiet. I get in the car, I'm looking out the window, and you think
he's crying because he knows that this is something more than what people are not paying attention to or not willing to talk about. And what it is that he understands that the days of New York has been transferred to other people. That's what it seemed like to me, because that's the way he's crying about losing a fellow officer. That's not fake tears. However, he feels guilty in the sense of putting people in that position and they're not even able to protect themselves, let alone other people in the building. So they have the gun detector thing. That's why I'm trying to see why he said that. Like they're trying to throw something off. Well, that's not going to work on me because I could observe this.
thinking about the video, you're thinking about, the lives that were lost, that were taken away from us unexpectedly, should never happen. It was hard for me to go to sleep that night, knowing from what we've seen, knowing from what we know, the crime scene pictures. Like, this is probably one of the, in my 20-year career doing this is probably one of the worst I've ever seen.
Do you fear that this is, there's going to be a copycat in some sense?
Here we go with the fear talk. You see? Do you fear? That's that. Look at her. She's like, why are you saying that? Rosetta is looking at him like, what in the world is you saying? Why you saying fear? She got that look on him like, ooh, I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna let you know about yourself off camera. You know what I'm saying? She got that look, y'all. I know that look. I know when I see a lady's look. Like that look is like, okay, I'm gonna deal with you off the camera. Like, now you being distasteful, pushing this fear tactic. Let me rewind it back. You see her reaction. I actually met Rosetta when I used to work for ABC, and she came on The View back in the day, or was a participator on one of the shows. I can't recall. That's back in the '90s, y'all. When I used to work for ABC in the '90s, late '90s, that is. Let me rewind it back a little bit. Listen.
Is there's going to be a copycat in some sense, because, or is this kind of a situation that you think is just a
There's
complete
always
anomaly?
going to be another one, so you got to just prepare for it. But these are the
There's always going to be another one. Did you hear what the chief said? Instead of him saying that we don't want that to happen, he said there's always going to be another one. Let me rewind it back. Let you hear the thing.
That night, knowing from what we've seen, knowing from what we know, just the crime scene pictures, like this is probably one of the, in my 20-year career doing this is probably one of the worst I've ever seen.
Do you fear that this is, there's going to be a copycat in some sense, because, or is this kind of a situation that you think is just a
there's
complete
always
anomaly?
going to be another one, so you got to just prepare for it. But these are the best New Yorkers we had. These are the best cops in the world. So, but there'll be another one. And we got to prepare and practice and go over and just keep moving. We have to move forward and just keep getting better at what we do, because at the end of the day, we have a job to protect the city. That is our mandate. End of story. That's it.
Chief Shell, Mayor Deputy Castache.
Thank you.
Well, he told y'all there's going to be another one. So you folks out there in New York City, you folks out there in New York, just pay attention, because he's like they get all types of calls, right? So we know that they get all types of calls, every single day, and they try to trace the calls, and sometimes it takes them longer to trace the call because the person may know the inside or how to not to get tracked. So there's a lot that goes with this. Just be safe out there, y'all. I'm not pushing no fear. This is not for you not to go to work and handle your business on the daily day. Just pay attention to everybody around you to the best of your ability. You can listen to your music, whatever the case may be. Just pay attention to your surroundings. It seemed like the officer was distracted and he ain't had no weapon. That's not a good look. Officers should have guns while they working off duty in these buildings. That the city has to implement that, because where I work at, there's a couple of officers that have weapons. I know who they are. They don't be shown, in the naked eye. However, there's office buildings down here in Orlando that carry. You don't know who they are. Because of my experience and been around certain people, I know who they are. And I'm like, that's what's up. Because you need those type of people. Just in case somebody when I act crazy, they ready for it. You can't be ready if the person is unarmed. Come on now. Y'all gotta do better. Stop blaming the weapon. It's the individual, it's the deity, not the weapon.
Thank you so much for
Thank you so
being
much
here
for having us.
and sharing those stories with us today. I didn't know anything about that woman on the 33rd
The cleaning
floor.
lady on the
Had
33rd
no
floor.
idea.
Just an amazing story.
Wow.
She was so dedicated to her job. She took her garbage can running for her life. Just think about that.
Just an instinct and reaction. Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Oh, we'll get to this another time. Something happened in Florida. We'll get to this another time because that's going to be that's on my list.
Movements from Las Vegas to New York City.
Joining us this morning.
All right, let me get to another video. Let me stop sharing. Let me get to the other video. The other video of, don't move in with a woman. I know many of you here for that too. So we got that out the way. Let's get to the one, don't move in with a woman. Let me find the video. I got to look for it now. Because obviously I'm going to have to continue to go back. I didn't have it ready. Okay, let me take my time. Let me see if I can find it. Make sure you hit the like button on your way in. And shout out to those who's viewing. Let's see if I can find it right now. Let's see if I could find it. Very, very important that we talk about this. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. I'm almost there. I'm almost there, y'all. I'm not seeing what's going on in the chat right now. If somebody wrote in the chat, I'm just looking for the video. And once I find the video, okay. No, that's my video. All right, here we go. I got it. Let's hear the continuation of this. Okay. We got 9 people in the building. All right, that's what's up. Dislike the video, share the video. If you support the Cash App, I'll definitely shout you out. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's get right to it. It's ready. All right, y'all. Let's make it happen. Let's go.
Yeah, great. Yeah, your dog's not gonna like the summers here.
When I first got her, I was in the army and it was in Oklahoma. So she's used to that, like that disgusting, like 100-degree weather that Oklahoma gets for some time.
Yeah, but here it's
humid.
It's
just nasty. Like she just knows she'll just go outside for a short period of time. Like she don't want to go a long while. She's going to use the bathroom and then come right back inside. Or she'll just stop walking. If she starts getting too hot, she'll just stop walking.
How old is she?
7?
7?
Woman.
The husky is disturbed about the outcome because the husky are very energetic dogs. And of course, they speak too. I had a husky speak to me when I stayed at one of the hotels earlier this year. And so, yeah, they're not into the hot weather. That's true for the most part. And they just need to be in the cold water, you know what I'm saying? Well, they don't like to get in water. So, for the most part, they could be petty about that, you know, because the water is not, you know, some of the water is, some of these waters, you get what I'm saying. It has peroxide, or not peroxide, I can't remember the name. It's so much on my mind. So they know something's up with the water, even if you filter out the water. So it has to be some natural water they'll go into. Anyway, let's continue. It's very quiet, y'all. This is the quiet I ever seen the officers. They're just paying attention to him. Of course, they gotta watch what he's doing. And rightfully so. The husky likes the officer. It's picking up the officer's energy. See? The husky can tell it got good energy. Here we go. Back to the woman.
We can't fight in peace. That's bad, this thing, but she need to get her ID. Man,
Here we go.
his word against her word. Shit. I
Man,
think she's strong on the virus.
she getting frustrated. The woman officer getting frustrated with this situation.
But then, not only that, he pulled my hair. Homeless.
I don't see no hair. Like, that's what I was looking at.
That's not.
Your hair been messed up.
Him pulling your head can't hit him in the lamp. That's excessive. You know what I'm saying?
You can't grab her by the neck to
Yeah.
get her off on her.
You see bruises, stuff.
Here we go.
And then there's a gash right here.
There's a gash from the lamp.
Yes.
Can I take a picture of that?
Yeah, she needs to be around.
Okay.
My
Sure you don't
goodness.
need EMS?
Very positive. I mean, you don't need EMS, medical attention.
If anything, I'll go once my mom gets here.
Okay. How far is she?
Last time I checked, she was 20 minutes out, and that was before y'all got here. So, okay.
I know his mom is going to have a pep talk with him. She's going to say, son, I don't know what made you go move in with that woman. You're going to be accountable for your actions. However, this could have been not good for your own son watching this, hearing this. That's not a good look for your son. So let's see if he go back. Because if he go back, that's on him. Oh my goodness. I mean, at the end of the day, you moved in with her. You went into her place. I know what it's like moving in a woman's place, and they could get very catty, very petty from time to time, even though you're doing what you're supposed to do. And you can't really say what you want to say because you're in her place. Now, the thing is, in the state of Georgia, you can't kick them out. That's similar to New York City. That's similar to other states. In Florida, you could remove the person within a week. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the situation. Now, what ends up happening is sometimes a woman will try to take you back. Don't go back, even if you don't have anything going on. This man should be having a place of his own. He said he got a place in New York. Okay, so he's taking care of the place in New York. He's taking care of her place, helping her out with the bills. That doesn't mean that she's still going to respect you in a long haul. You're supposed to get your own thing. And if things don't work out between you and that person because you got your own thing, it wasn't meant. Just take care of her a little bit longer, and you have yourself dealing with somebody else real soon. That's how I look at the situation when it comes to this, y'all. He's looking distraught because he know he done messed up, especially getting his son involved. And the dog is not tremendously invested in him right now because the dog is even upset with him. Let's go. We don't know what she did to his dog.
I mean, it's just no evidence of that. But do this though. But I'm not say, hey, let me see where you put your hair at, and I can even take a picture of it. And that shit just still me asking, like, did you do your hair again?
Okay.
And then, you know what I'm saying? That's what that'll.
That officer is smart. That officer, the lieutenant or sergeant, I think he's a sergeant. I don't know if 3 stars a sergeant or lieutenant. I'm out the loop. I'll be honest. He's very intelligent. He's listening to both sides, and he having the woman officer talk to her. That's smart, clever.
Y'all got that 69 skill.
Here we go.
So where does your mom live?
She does say East Point. But
East Point?
I don't think she was home when we called. I think she was out. So her destination is unknown. And when I was trying to call her, because my phone is overwritten. My phone died. I can't use it.
So in other words, his phone is messed up. She done broke his phone, and he cannot be able to contact Good thing he had enough, whatever the phone did, to get his mom to come get his son and the dog. You need to either move back in with your parent for a little bit, your mom, within 2 months, get your own place, or go back to New York, whatever you're trying to do. Because you say you're trying to go back to New York because of this business that you got involved in is attached to New York. Anyway, let's continue. Then again, it's the place in New York is under that woman you had a child with, the Navy woman you had a child with, because I talked about that in my previous video. I don't think it's his place. I think it's her place. He's going to have to find a place of his own for his son. Let's continue.
It's easier to have here than it is in New York.
Oh, for sure. Like, you pretty much have to do like law enforcement. I think they're trying to loosen it up now, but you pretty much have to do like law enforcement to be able to have a pistol license.
Yeah. Well, the Supreme Court kind of said, hey,
It don't even make sense. It literally, you have to have a reason. You have to be a business owner.
I just don't agree with that. Because, I shouldn't have to tell the government what the reason is for wanting to have something to protect myself with.
Now, I agree with the officer. I shouldn't have to tell the government how to protect my family and my environment I'm currently in. The officer is correct. You know what I'm saying? This guy should take education and learn not to move in with a woman. Now, the officers have to be respectful because they have a duty to do. Yeah, I know they had the conversation like, man, why is this guy moving with this woman, man? And he have a son. Because you rarely hear a man get custody of his children. You know what I'm saying? In this day of time. So for him to have custody of his son and he's moving funny, that means he's slipping. He's not experienced with women. Like I talked about before, he's not fully experienced with women. Because you can have a child with a woman, that doesn't mean you're experienced with the woman. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Let's continue.
For sure. Look, we're not allowed to have like pepper spray tasing, so. So
I can't.
Like, and I think depending on the person, I think we get caught with a gun in New York. It's like I think they charge you years per bullet.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's like maybe 5 or 10 per. So. And I'm like, in most states that's gun friendly have less like gun violence.
That's true. Did you hear that? That's true. I'm glad he had enough sense to say that. I'm in agreement. There's a lot of things he frickles about because he realized he make mistakes moving in with a woman. One thing he said in this crucial video is that the people that have weapons are more likely not to have gun violence. You can't tell these content creators this because they're going to say, you coning, you selling out, you Uncle Tom, you a Tedder, you a Babble. Well, this young man, while he learning his lesson not to move in with a woman again, said some gems right here. We got to give him credit. See, I'm fair and balanced. Listen again.
It's like I think they charge you years per bullet.
Oh, damn.
That's true. New York will charge you per bullet for the most part. Let's continue.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's like maybe 5 or 10 per. So. And I'm like, in most states that's gun friendly have less like gun violence.
That's true. That's true. And the office is like he have enough sense to even say that to them. They're like, okay, so he have enough sense to know what's going on. Why he's still moving with this woman? That's his downfall. He's moving in with a woman in her place. You telling her what to do in her place. You can't do that, man. This is where you have your own place. I just think in when it comes to relationships now in 2025 and beyond, fellas, ladies, as well, you should have your own place. Meet up with each other periodically when you can, and then work to see if it's going to get to that point you're moving with each other. I don't think people should move in with each other fast. You have your place, she has her place. You meet up, you get to know each other, build from there. Go different places, do different things, whatever the case may be between you and that partner of yours. And then eventually, when y'all see that you really could, put up with each other, learn from each other's mistakes, then you move in. Y'all find a middle ground, get a place together, and then go from there. That's how relationships should be in 2025 and beyond. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section. I know Ringo talked on it, Brainwaves talked on touch bases on it. I think a man should have his own thing, a woman have her own thing, get to know each other, whether it's long distance or not, get to know each other, build from there. And then as time goes on, y'all can put up a deal with each other, learn from each other's mistakes, whatever, because nothing is perfect, and build that character. And then when you're ready to move in, it will be like it's no tomorrow. I just think that he rushed, and he admitted that in a previous video I did. I think it's the first or the second one, I'm not sure, that he was there to basically use Anana, so to say, to go back to New York, which don't make sense. However, I don't think it's his place. And in New York, his ex-wife is a Navy. So he got to get his own place and help his son along the way, because it's not good for his son to be in that type of environment. Hello to Paige. Paige is in the building. She says compatibility is key. Absolutely. Let's continue.
In my opinion.
Our society is a polite society.
States like here,
Hold on.
and I think depending on the person, I think we get caught with a gun in New York. It's like I think they charge you years per bullet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's like maybe 5 or 10 per. So I think most states that's gun friendly have less like gun violence, in my opinion.
Our society is a polite society.
Our society is a police society. Yeah. Absolutely. Let's continue.
States like here, people just get really like theatrical, like they sang clips on a 9mm. It looks.
It's easy to get snapped with something.
It jams. It's terrible. What's the earliest age out here that a child can carry a firearm?
Any age. Possessful and carrying.
That's a whole other story, but be able to use it. Because you can have the range as well.
So right now, like a person has this constitutional carry. So if you're 18, you're 18 and not prohibited by law from possessing a carry. You carry it with or without a carry license.
I think most people is doing that anyway.
All right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to do a continuation of this because I got to get ready. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate everyone for tuning into the show. Thank y'all for liking the video. And shout out to everybody that subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit all notifications. I'll do a finale because I do definitely got to get going. I got to get to the site and I got to do other things. So I need to, go in because I'm not supposed to have gone in. Somebody needed me to cover for them. It is what it is. So I'm gonna make it through the day, of course, because the Most High is gonna be with me. I got my stuff ready, and before you know it, you know. So okay, let's see how this is gonna go. I'll be back on more likely tonight. If not, we'll do it tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? If anything comes up outside of that, I may talk about it while I'm at the site. So I may come back on if anything comes up that I need to talk about. Other than that, I'll see you over by Ringo, over by Brainwaves, over by Selena. I'm not going to be shouting out people like that for real because it's just too much going on. I'm not going to talk about it. I already talked about it yesterday, and I'm going to leave it at that. So thank y'all for viewing. Thank y'all for liking. Thank you for sharing. We'll continue this because this is a long video, and I want to make sure when I talk about this that I'm not rushing, the content. You get what I'm saying? So I'll definitely make time for the finale because this is about to get really interesting. So my assessment on this, don't move in with a woman, don't move in a woman's place, guys and ladies that's listening, tuning in, get to know the person, have your own thing, they have their own thing, and go from there. You will have a better opportunity for longevity relationships. It's not like it was back in the days, y'all. We're in a different time. I know there's nothing new under the sun, like the Bible says, yet we're in a time such as never before. The Bible even says that. So that's something to consider, you know what I'm saying? If you are thinking about getting a relationship with someone, I don't think you should move in. You should move in within a year or two, at least 2 years, because you got to learn each other before you move in. You don't want to do it while you move in quickly because it's going to take a lot, and then they got this, you got that. It's not even worth it. At least if you got your own place, and for whatever reason it don't work out, the person have their place, you have your place, they have their place. Man, don't do it. Because this could have been going the wrong direction. By the Most High, the only reason why she was arrested, and we're going to find out, you're going to hear it, is because, of his son. And if she did something to his dog, that's an additional charge because they love animals down here in the South, especially in the South. Ooh. So that's all I got to say on this page. Thank you for viewing. Those in the clouds that's working, salute to y'all. You're on the road. Y'all be safe out there. Be cognizant. There's been some people on the road lately that's in the middle of traffic. I'm always paying attention to what's going on, because people out here, and just like anywhere, crashing out, man. Just beware of people crashing out, y'all. All right? Yeah, stay strong out there. You see, I got messages coming in. I got people, hitting me up. So I got to deal with that, amongst other things. Brown royalty to the people. We the business. I'll let y'all on the next one. Hello?
What's going on?
Listen, I got an important client for you. She's a CEO. She runs a